here. I don't know if they tell you how many, but X number of people have given comments, and then the host will create these rating systems, typically like a 5-star rating. Okay? So that's where the interaction occurs, is you see what other ratings are, and you might see a high rating and you go, oh, I had terrible problems with this. Here, enter your own, enter the review. I know it's on there somewhere. So you can go in and, having seen that, say, wait a minute, no, I'm going to put in my review. So that's how the interaction occurs. So those are the 5 basic ones, and I put them across the top here. Threaded discussion, personal space, virtual landscape, text-based repository, and other. And I've got the 15 models, and we're not going to have time to go into all of them, but
maybe just leave that up.
And during the session we can kind of refer back to this. But you can pretty much tell we've talked about these to some extent, but these are 15 distinct ways of hosting, 15 distinct types of platforms, and you can see along the side are your 5 markets. So to plan a venture, and again, we'll maybe do some of this tonight also, the key is if you're envisioning, when you get to the point of thinking about what is the opportunity for the community, look at the markets. So say, okay, let me look at my customers. Let me look at, do they want to socialize? Do they want to do gaming? Do they want to share knowledge? Do they want to develop something? Or do they want to exchange something? Those are the 5 markets. So there, now you have that as input. You're not just doing this ad hoc. You have a systematic way of thinking about the community. Now, once you've thought about, well, I got an idea for a community, well, how am I going to actually host it? Well, here's where you think about designing the web platform. That's where you look at those 15 models. Those are 15 distinct ways of doing it. So when you match those 15 up with those 5, basically you have 75 different ways, not to make it crazy, but once you get into it and think about it, that's the power of the markets and models, is it helps you to focus these. So like I said before, instead of just mimicking a MySpace, you're now actually out ahead and saying, wow, this is possible. What if we match that poker-style landscape with a socialization community? What would happen there? Not every combination may work, but technically it could. So it pretty much can spur your creativity to come up with that. I'll go into this. You have time to do it or not? Threadless is a very interesting case. It combines 3 different markets, and I can talk about that with you afterwards. I do want you to make sure you understand, as I said before, these are different kinds of animals. You definitely want to be more of a facilitator and guider, meaning kind of a hands-off management. You don't want to command and control a virtual community. It's not going to happen. These are volunteers. So that's very important. You do want to respect the norms of the community. These communities really create strong norms. They have strong feelings, which a lot of times are anti-business. So just be aware, not always, but especially in all earlier times. But you've got to be very aware what those norms are and don't violate them. You can really get these people upset. Also, communities do tend to set their own direction. So it's not like you're starting a spin-off company. The community is going to go in the direction that it wants to go in. And a good example of this is Dell. I don't know if any of you remember this. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. A Dell customer for a Dell laptop had a lot of problems getting it fixed and so forth, and was able to start generating a virtual community, okay, of people that were also disgusted with Dell service. Well, it turned out that it had a very significant impact on Dell. If you look at their stock, you can see where this happened. Right? I've been looking for an actual number, but I know it was a major impact. So this one disgruntled customer was able to create communities and really seriously hurt Dell. So you've got to realize this. It's not, again, it's not a typical business venture. It's got unique characteristics, but it also has some very, very great possibilities. What I consider, and we consider this to be, is really so far you're just seeing kind of the proof of concept. You're just seeing what is possible. This is still the frontier. This is like e-commerce was 10 years ago. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. So you're going to see a lot more opportunities come along. The key thing here is if you can understand markets and models, you're all going to be in a much better position to take advantage of these new opportunities as they come along. Thank you.
out the rules again, you can take a break. Let me write it down, and then we'll take a break, and you can read the form. I know some of you are waiting. So, what I want to do in this exercise, we've got these good old plastics right on the wall again.